Hello everybody, I'm BeakerTeck, also known as Keegan, and welcome back to a brand new series of Democracy 3. Now before we get started, a couple things that I want to address. First off, is there are going to be two series of Democracy 3 running at the same time, okay? So on Wednesdays, you'll be getting two videos of Democracy 3. The first one, this one, is going to be sort of a serious attempt to last as long as possible, right? I'm going to be going in as Canada again. Obviously, I was as Canada last time. I'm going to try that again. I've played quite a few terms of this now. I've had a good go. I've read a lot of guides and all this kind of stuff, and I think I've got a pretty good idea of how we can make it last longer than 3 episodes. So that's going to be this series. It's going to be a serious attempt. We're going to try and actually complete an entire couple terms, an entire sort of length in Parliament in this series. The other series, which is out in about an hour, if you're watching this live, as soon as it comes out, that one is going to be sort of more of a silly attempt. I'm gonna pick one side, right? Whether it be capitalist or socialist, or pick one thing and take it to the extreme, and just see how long I can survive without being assassinated while doing just some ridiculous, crazy policies and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, go watch that series. If you're interested in how to actually play the game properly, watch this series. And if you want to watch both, awesome. I appreciate that. But anyway, guys, smash that like button and also leave comments down below if you think I'm making any serious mistakes, and I'll try and correct them in the future. So, going right ahead, let's create a new game. And as I said, we're going in as Canada, and we are going to go and play. Now, the party name has no effect on anything, but we're going to be called the Beaker Party. Oops, I am missing a space. The Beaker Party, and we're going up against, I don't know, I'm going to close my eyes and pick one. The People's Front. Why not? So, the term length, right, is 5 years, and there's no limit. This is in Canada. I'm going to change that because I want to go through some elections, and I want to do them not too soon, right? But also, I don't want to last 5 years. I want some elections because that's a good indicator of where you're at in the game. Okay, if you get re-elected, you're doing good. If you don't, you're doing bad, and the game's over. So it'd be nice to have slightly sooner elections just as an indicator of that. So I'm going to go with 4-year term lengths, and I'm going to go with a 3-term limit. Okay, so I can be re-elected twice. If I get re-elected twice, I will be happy. That means I've essentially completed the game, and then that last 3rd term will just be making sure everything stays nice, ticks along, everything is good. I am going to leave everything else the same, the difficulty, the socialism, liberalism, political apathy, all that kind of stuff is staying the same, staying default. We're just going to go ahead and hit play, and hopefully do all right. As we load, well, it's loaded now, so let's begin term of office. What I've learned is there's a certain order to how you want to address this game, okay? The first thing you need to do is balance your budget, okay? We're currently in a deficit of 13.5 billion, okay? Which means we're spending more than we're bringing in. We're losing 13 billion every quarter. I believe this is quarter. Let me know in the comments down below if that's wrong, but I believe that's quarterly. Doesn't matter. We're losing money, okay? A lot of it. And we have 1,000 billion, so that's $1 trillion in debt. So I need to fix those things, and that's going to be the first thing I attack, is going to be balancing the budget, making sure that we don't have any deficit, that we're making money. And I'd like to be making around 10 billion. So I need to flip this almost 100% in the opposite direction, from 13 billion deficit to close to $13 billion in profit, okay? After I balance the budget, I'm going to be taking on the crime and poverty. So at the moment, we have got antisocial behavior, we've got street gangs, we've got alcohol abuse, ghettos, vigilante mobs, and organized crime. There's a lot of crime going on in Canada right now. And we also have a lot of homelessness, which is affected by poverty. Our poverty is not that bad, okay? It's not, I mean, it obviously could be better. I'd like this sort of around 20% maybe, as opposed to what's this, 45%? So I don't want to bring that down, but again, that's going to be brought down a lot by, the alcohol abuse, the gangs, and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the next step after balancing the budget. Then we're going to look at the education, making sure the GDP is all right. Then we're going to make sure our cabinet is still getting us loads of political capital. And then after that, then I'll start looking at some other policies, maybe some transportation stuff, some science stuff, all that kind of good stuff. And, of course, over the whole thing, making sure I'm not assassinated, right? Which is genuinely the hardest part, okay? And sometimes I'm going to have to detour a little bit from what I'm currently aiming for. Like, at the moment, I'm balancing the budget, but if there are some people that really hate me, like the religious people right now, then I might have to just look at that. So as soon as this turn is over, I'll look, see if there's anyone who really hates me, any plots against me, and I'll target that first. That is my number one priority, because obviously last time I was assassinated. So that's enough talking. Let's get into it. Let's look at my expenditure. What am I spending the most on? Okay, we've got state health service, pensions, schools, military spending, and state housing. So a lot of things there that I could probably drop down. And the first thing I am going to do is state pensions. Okay, I'm going to drop these down. Not much. But a little bit. These currently cost 11 billion a quarter. Yes, I was right, per quarter. So I'm going to halve that. What's it, if I bring that down to sort of 5.01 billion, that'll do. Capitalists get happier. The retired aren't as happy, but they're still happy. The poor, the same. Poverty will go up a little bit. Retired income, blah blah blah. Private pensions will go up. It's very difficult to look. It's like private pensions. The slider is going towards green. That means, yeah, it's less negative, so it's positive. We'll get there. Lower. Wow, actually I can't. 26 capital. I should have looked there first. Okay, we'll have to do this a bit later, but that's where I sort of want to drop that state pension to. Yeah, I know. Let's get out of here. The other thing I'd like to do is look at state housing. This is going to cost 8 to lower. That's fine. If I drop this to sort of 2 billion, private housing will go up. Poverty, it'll still be brought down. We're not going to be bringing poverty up by doing this, but we won't be lowering it as much. And again, by doing this, we're not sort of flipping any of these sliders. Nothing is going from green to red or red to green. They're just less of what they originally were. So I'm happy with that. I just don't want to flip any sliders. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. That's our state housing. The other one is the military spending. It's already pretty low, but I want to get this to the bottom of light defensive, which is just there. So that's 4.86. Not, again, I can't lower it, which is a shame. Maybe I'm going to have to look at my cabinet first. Maybe that's something I'm going to have to do. Normally I do it a bit later, but maybe I'll have to do it sooner. Health service, I like having high for personal beliefs, but of course this game is not about personal beliefs, it's about balancing the numbers, right? So we might have to lower that at some point just to save a bit of money. The other thing we can do in this first turn is implement some new policies, specifically some tax policies. So the big ones that give you a lot of money are your capital gains tax, inheritance tax, alcohol tax, corporate airplane, things like that. Some of them really piss people off, right? The one that I can do, maybe, is capital gains. But it looks like maybe I've already got capital gains tax. We're just going to have to... That'll be an income. Capital gains tax, yeah, is only bringing in 2.86 billion at this point in time, right? We can up that to, let's say, 6 billion if I can. So there's 6 billion. What's that going to do? Socialists are happier, capitalists are less happy, equality goes up, always good, high earnings, self-employed. GDP actually goes down just a wee bit. Just the tiniest wee bit. But that's okay. Not too fast. And wealthy are unhappy. But it is going to bring in a little bit of money. So we'll go ahead and do that. And hopefully I'll have enough. Yes, here's inheritance tax. Hopefully I have enough to raise this. I don't. 25. I've only got 8 political capital left. And the other big one that can bring in money is alcohol tax, but I'm 1 off raising it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is move on to the next turn. Okay, sometimes it's worth saving your political capital. You don't have to zero it out every single turn. Okie dokie. Quarterly report, public smoking ban. There are a number of suspected links between smoking and poor... Suspected? Really? I'd go a little bit, maybe stronger in my wording there, but that's okay. Pressure groups have called for a ban on all smoking in public as an encouragement for smokers to give up. If I do ban it, it is a major step towards cutting the number of people in this country who die from smoking-related illness. It is the duty of the state to pass laws like this in the interests of people's health. And if I don't change it, it's not the job of the state to tell people how they live their lives. This is a total overreaction and an attack on civil liberties. It's legal to smoke, so you should be free to do so in public. People must be free to make their own decisions about health. Health is very low at this point, right? Very, very low. And I should have checked what, because obviously if I ban it, liberals are going to be unhappy because I'm controlling everything, okay? You know, the government's controlling what they do, so the liberals will be unhappy about that. And I'm not sure what the state of the liberals were. I'm not sure whether they were unhappy with me. But it will have an increase on the health. And health is quite low. So I might go ahead and do that. I am going to ban it simply because of my health factor here. Yeah, that's my reasoning behind that. The global economy is doing well, but I'm not. I'm at a BBB debt rating, which is very bad, and 1% of people intend to vote for me. I can get that up, okay? I've got, what did I say, 4 years to get that up? Shouldn't be too much of an issue, and they're loyal and passable. So I might have to look at these guys. What do they get me each time? 23 per turn. That's fine. Like, at this point in time, we've got a 5, a 4.7, a couple 2.5s, which are really not good. But a 5 and a 4.7, that's okay. We can work on that later. Deficit has dropped by 2 billion, which is lovely. Let's go ahead and increase our capital gains tax. No, we did capital gains tax. Did we? Did we do that one? Yes, we did. Inheritance tax is the one we didn't do. 25 to raise. It doesn't even raise, doesn't give us much money, really, does it? Really doesn't. Pisses off the wealthy. Socialist inequality goes up. Conservatives, middle income, high earnings, retired, all go down. Where are the conservatives at the moment? I revert those changes. Conservatives. These guys are pretty damn pissed off at me at this point. Yeah, they're really not happy. I'd rather not annoy them further, because they might try and assassinate me. So, you know, there's that issue. How else am I going to bring in some money? Or at least cut some money. I might have to cut the state health service. If I bring this down to 7.5 7.5 if I can get it. 7.51, that'll do. Again, nothing has flipped. Doctor Strike. Is that? It will. It's going to bring up Doctor Strike and obesity. Contagious. See, this is where things get difficult. I've got to balance that health, because that health right now is shocking. What else can I do? What taxes can I implement? Airplane tax really pisses people off, so it's not the best, and it also doesn't bring in much money. We could look at alcohol tax, which is normally a decent amount of money. In fact, I think I might already have alcohol tax. Yeah, I do. Alcohol tax here. It's going to piss off the poor, and it's going to raise poverty, and it's not going to bring much money in. I will bring it up to 2.5, just because I need that money. So apply that. We'll also look at a tobacco tax, which is going to bring down tobacco usage and also piss everyone off. So we've now banned smoking in public areas, and I'm going to tax them more. And again, we'll bring this one up to 3 billion, I think. I think that's a nice one. Equality goes down a little bit, poverty goes up by a little bit, and everyone's a little bit pissed off. And I can't raise it because of my bloody political capital. I've only got 22 political capital. What am I meant to do with that? That's nothing. So very frustrating. But I do need to spend some more money. Sorry, spend more money? Save more money, ideally. State schools, debt interest, military spending. 26 to lower that. 21 to lower that. It's gonna piss off so many people if I do that, though. Not really ideal. Maybe it's worth it, though. Nah, see, I need to save 11 billion. I need a tax that's going to bring in $11 billion, right? Luxury goods tax is good, but it will normally introduces a brain drain, which is not ideal. Plastic bag tax, junk food tax, it doesn't bring in much money. I'm just looking over here for the ones that bring in the most money. Automation tax, 8 billion. Could be good. Could be useful. 3.6. But yeah. I think I'm going to run with the automation tax. And it's going to bring in, like, if I do that, it's going to bring down technology and industrial automation. Trade unions get happier. And in the long run, it also affects productivity, which then in turn affects your GDP. So I'm going to bring in we'll just go with around 8 billion. All right. Nice and round numbers. I like round numbers. They're good. 16 political capital is the words I'm looking for here. Is there anything else I can do? Recreational drugs tax will bring a little bit. I want something with a billion sign, not a million sign, preferably. That one, and the punitive tax on superstores and the luxury goods tax all basically instantly start a brain drain, okay? They really, really suck. But if I implement it and bring in maybe 1 billion, hopefully it's not going to piss off people too much. Capitalists are annoyed. Car usage goes down. If I do 2 billion, self-employeds go up, environmentalists, socialists go up. The GDP goes down a little bit, and hopefully, in fact, I'm going to set it on 30%. Okay, so 1.64. I'll go off the percentage because hopefully that's enough that people aren't going to be. We won't get the brain drain, hopefully. And now I have 3. If we go to the next turn, hopefully we'll get enough political capital to do some of the stuff I wanted. Armed religious communities. Yeah, the religious people really aren't happy with me, are they? That abortion law is really dragging it down. I may have to cancel this. I don't want a total ban, but True Doctor's approval, conservatives, that limited circumstances makes religious happy, it doesn't piss off the liberals much, and the conservatives don't care. So I'm going to have to spend my political capital to do that. While personally I don't agree with it, it is, like, it's going to cause a massive issue, so I'm going to go ahead with that. Ban alcohol adverts. I'm going to reject that, because alcohol tax gives us a lot of money. If I ban, ads about alcohol, I'm going to lose a lot of income. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 0% of people are going to vote for us. That's not ideal at all. I did say I was going to have a look at this. Communist Party is pissed off. Wildlife, yeah, there are a lot of people angry at me. I might have to have a look at some of that. If I go here, to reshuffle is 10, I've only got 6. So I'm just going to have to go straight into my next turn. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Next. I'm just going to have to go straight there. Religious condemnation. The religious people don't like me. General strike has developed. Really? God. How frustrating. That's really annoying. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode. We'll continue on in the next one. So if you liked it, smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And leave comments down below with what your suggestions are, because I will be recording these week to week. So if you comment before the weekend, obviously this released on Wednesday, if you comment before sort of Saturday, I will be able to implement your suggestions. So go ahead and do that in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.